So I did not get the job and I am not fulfilled where I'm at. So what now?
You in the past, I'm in the future. You mad, they don't salute you. I need a bag.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Keela Trishan and I make videos on lifestyle, insurance, working a 9 to 5, and mental health. I also do vlogs, day in the life in the insurance industry, day in the life with a small child, all the things. If that's something that interests you, go on ahead and click that subscribe button below. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything from me. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and thank you for your support. So this is going to be kind of like a different type of video. It's something that I'm filming on the fly. And as you can tell by my opening, I am not in the best space, but this is not my first time being here. And I also know I'm not the only one who is in this position or has been in this position. And the biggest thing that I've learned over the years is when I am faced with this, I need to have a plan. So I'm going to walk you guys through kind of like a little bit of background without getting too much into it because I'm still employed here, and just kind of the next steps and what I plan to do so I'm not in this position forever. So if you're interested, definitely go on ahead and stay tuned. Okay, so boom, let me give you guys a little bit of a backstory. So if you have been here for a while, then you already know like what's going on because I talk about it pretty often. But if you're new, I am a field adjuster for a major insurance company, and I've been in this industry for about 11 years. For the last year and a half, however, I've been working the wildfires. California had fires in Palisades and the Altadena area, and this was January of 2025. So I have been on this temporary team for about 18 months. It is now like mid-June as of the time I'm filming this video. I've made it very clear that I do not want to do claims for much longer. It's very taxing, very stressful. I still want to stay in insurance, but the claims job itself, being on the front line, handling everything is getting old. Now, I felt this way even before I came to this company, but I was kind of in a situation where I needed to get another job quickly. And I did that. You know, the job did what it needed to do for the time it needed to do it. My family and I, we were moving into this home. So we needed, you know, the income and all of that. So it did what it needed to do. With that said, I want to say one of my last like day in the life videos, I told you guys that I had applied for a position that is non-customer facing. It was more of like a training / like check approving type role. And I did not get it. Okay. Now, I'm not mad that I didn't get the role. So I want to make that clear. Yes, was I disappointed? For sure. But I'm not like salty about it. The person that got it is more than qualified. I am cool with them, you know, like it's not that. Also, I am 40 years old. So this is not my first time not getting a job that I wanted. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. My problem is that I tried to go back to my regular position because this is now becoming taxing to the point where it's affecting my mental health. So I asked to go back to my regular role and was basically just told no. Have not gotten an actual reason as to why, just mostly like, oh, we still need your services. Mind you, they have staffed this department. So there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to go back. And also, my previous department needs people. There's like open jobs right now for that department, for my actual like role. So I'm confused, right? Now, with that said, I found out the part about me being told no. I found this out yesterday. So needless to say, I was in a very bad headspace. Like I just wasn't doing good mentally, and I was close to tears. And that I haven't been in that space in several years because I don't let work get to me like that. But I just kind of felt really like backed against the wall. I kind of feel like I'm being treated unfairly with the amount of work I'm being given. And we don't even have the resources to address all these situations, which is like a whole, I don't want to get into it because again, it's like company sensitive stuff, but let's just say I don't have the tools that I need to be able to resolve what I need to resolve. So that's it. Instead of me, you know, checking out and slipping into a depression and just kind of being on some woe is me type stuff, I figured, you know what, let me put a plan in place because again, this is not the first time I've been, not this bad, but this is not the first time I've been in a situation where I'm like, I really don't want to do this no more. So I'm going to tell you the exact tips that I'm following to get myself out of this situation. It's going to take time, but it's important to start putting a plan in motion. So if you're interested, and if you have been in a situation like this before, if you're currently in a situation like this and you need some tips and some guidance and somebody that, is kind of walking through it with you, definitely go on ahead and stay tuned. All right, step 1, talk to the decision makers at your company. This is important because I do feel like even right now, I'm going through the chain of command. So I'm going through, supervisor, manager, things like that. Like, I don't want to rock the boat and I don't want to escalate unless I have to. So it's important for me to talk to people that can actually make the decision and actually help me get to where I need to be. See if they're willing to work with me. At this point, my supervisor has spoken to the manager of the department and basically was told that, I'm still needed here, and didn't really give a definitive answer on when I'm going to be released. This is something that they're planning to do permanently. Like, I don't have any information. So I do plan on talking to the actual manager, since it sounds like he is a decision maker. And if I need to, I'm prepared to talk to the manager of my previous department. Part of the reason why this is tricky is because management and staffing has changed in the previous department since I've been there. Again, it's been a year and a half. So there are a lot of changes. I don't really know these folks like that over there, but I do know what the job was when I was there, and it's basically still the same. I just feel like I need some reprieve, and in order to do that, I need to just kind of talk to them, get in front of them, and just let them know, hey, this is a situation in a professional way. I was hired to do this job. I've been volunteering here, but I would like to end my volunteer status and go back to what I was originally hired to do. How can we make that happen? So I'll keep y'all posted on that, kind of as I'm going through it. Maybe not in real time. It all depends on how my mental health is, but that is going to be my first step. Talk to the decision makers and let them know exactly where I stand. Okay, my second tip and plan of action for myself is to seek roles that actually fit what you're looking for and something that you will be happy with long term. One mistake that I feel like I've made in the past is running from a situation, like when it gets to be too toxic or it gets to be too overwhelming, I'm running to another company and doing the same type of work. So the problem with that is that you end up in a situation where you have a bit of reprieve because of training and things like that, getting to know the job. And obviously there's going to be a ramp up period. So I would say you probably have like 3 to 4 months of reprieve before you get into the nitty gritty and you're back at square one. So the only way to really fix that is to make sure that you're finding roles that work with your personality now and work with what you want your life to look like. Now, I know I've mentioned this before, and I've said that I am seeking a non-customer facing job. I want to stay in insurance because I do enjoy working in the insurance industry. So it's not the industry, but claims specifically, because we're on the front lines, it can be a lot. There are people that do this job long term, and God bless them. We need people like that. I, however, am not one of them. And I feel like after 11 years, I think I'm ready to throw in the towel on this side. Now, not even to toot my own horn, but I feel like I could be a great leader. I feel like I could be a great trainer. I could be great behind the scenes. I could show you how to do the job. I could show you how to get it done. And I think that that is a way for me to preserve my mental health and still stay in the industry. So as I'm looking for other roles, I'm looking within my company, because the goal really, if I can, is to stay with the company so I don't have to start over. I could just simply go to another department. I already know how the company works. I already know how the systems work. So all I need to do is learn that job. So I'm consistently looking at our internal job board to see if there's anything that makes sense, anything that fits my pay criteria and that looks like what I want it to look like in this next phase of employment for me. But I'm also not afraid if I need to move on. And I think that's something that people struggle with. Just kind of wanting to stay with the company, kind of scared to move on, scared to jump ship, scared of something new. I completely get that. And I've absolutely been in that situation. But I will say that over the last 6 years or so, since I've moved around different companies, I have been able to increase my pay and just kind of pad my resume really well. And I think that kind of makes me more marketable. So I do think that even if this situation didn't happen, every 2 to 3 years, you should kind of be looking towards the next step. Now, if you want to stay in your role, if you're happy with it, and if the pay is good and you're getting decent raises and like it makes sense for you, then by all means. But for me, I do want to make the most money possible. I want to be the happiest I can be, because you do spend a lot of your time at work. And I want to do something where I actually feel like I'm not only making a difference, but I can do it and not be stressed out outside of work. So that's my tip. Start looking for positions that fit what you're looking for. Make sure that it fits the type of schedule that you want. Make sure that it leaves room for your personal life or whatever you have happening. And just don't keep making the same mistake over and over. Okay, so kind of piggybacking off of my last tip, my next tip is going to be to use your network. I think that we really underestimate using our network and just staying in touch with people that we work with professionally. Even sometimes, like, in personal situations, like you might have a family member that works for a particular company or that knows somebody, or whatever. You really have to use your connections, and you gotta, it's give and take. Now, I've been on the opposite end where I've pulled someone into a company that I'm working with, or I've given someone a lead or put them in touch with a recruiter. Now I'm in need of those services. So I am not a stranger to, returning to someone like, hey, I need to cash in on this favor. And this is not using, it's about actually using your network. I feel like a lot of jobs that I've come into contact with have been because I've been placed in position. There are many jobs that I've gotten on my own, but my last few jobs have been because someone in my network referred me or, gave me the information, and I took it and ran with it. And so now I'm going to go out and seek that information. I recommend, if you have a LinkedIn, brush it up, make sure that your resume is up to date. Any skills that you've acquired during your new job, make sure that those are on your resume and start passing that thing out. Go old school. With regards to LinkedIn, there are times where I'm contacted by recruiters, and even if I'm not interested in what they have going on at the time, I always respond and let them know, hey, I'm not interested in this particular position, but I know somebody that is. If you have anything like this, let me know. So I'm going to go through those and see, are there any companies that are recruiting that have a job that matches the criteria that I'm looking for. So I'm starting to do that. I'm also going through my professional contacts just through my phone. Like, hey, okay, I used to work with this person that used to be an old supervisor or whatever. What are they doing now? Seeing where they're working at, researching those companies and things like that. You have to be ready to investigate, look and see what's out there and just start talking to people. You never know. Sometimes people are in the same situation. Sometimes you can help them maybe get in where you're at. They can help you get in where they're at. You never know. So closed mouths do not get fed. Use your network. We are all here to help each other. And I do think that it's easier to land those roles that may not be talked about or advertised if you know the right people. Okay, so my last tip is more geared towards survival while you are doing all of those good things, while you're networking, while you're talking to the right people, talking to the decision makers, and looking for other jobs, right? What can you do in the meantime? So what I am basically doing is I'm not going to not do my job. So I think that some people kind of fall into that, I'm just not going to do anything. And you don't want to get fired. That's not the goal. You need to keep your job, right? Because if you didn't need your job, then you wouldn't be going through this to begin with, right? So you want to make sure that you're still doing what's required of you. Contact your insureds or, whatever your job calls them. Contact your customers, make sure that you are staying on top of your files, things like that. Don't let anything just fall by the wayside, but don't do any extra. It's just my personality. It's probably, I don't know if it's because I'm the oldest, because I'm a Virgo. I don't know. Okay. But I always go above and beyond. And I honestly feel like part of that is the reason why I'm so miserable right now. Because I do go above and beyond. I think that, my company looks at it like, oh, she can handle it. And they just give me the BS. And I also don't complain much. So I feel like as much as that could be a good quality, it has kind of worked to my detriment. So I am going to just simply not go above and beyond because it's not helping me right now. It's not doing anything for me. All it's doing is making my life harder, while there are other people that don't do as much that are, they're chilling because I got their claims, So, and I'm just calling a spade a spade. I'm not trying to be salty about it or whatever, but it just kind of is what it is. So I am no longer going to be that go-to employee. I'm going to start just doing exactly what I need to do to get through the day. Because at the end of the day, you do need to continue to take care of your mental health, because that can start affecting your physical health. You need to make sure that you are staying up on your hobbies and taking care of your family. Last thing you want to do is have your job bleed into your personal life to where you're snapping on, the people in your household or outside, folks slipping into a depression. Nobody needs that. So I'm going to continue to do my workouts. If y'all have been watching, I have been very heavy into fitness, and I work out basically 6 days a week. In the past, when I've gotten into this situation where work is just so busy and I feel like there aren't enough hours in the day, I have ceased workouts, or I've done them like way less frequently. I'm not doing that anymore. The workouts come first. I come first. My family, my household comes first. My mental health comes first. And then whatever's left after that is what will be given to the job. So I think it's very important to kind of treat people and companies how they treat you. And I do feel like I'm kind of in a situation where, and I'm not saying that it's necessarily on purpose, but the message is clear. My well-being is not the priority. It's getting this work done, giving me other people's emergencies. That's what the priority is. So since that is their priority, I need to shift my priority and make myself and my world the priority, so I don't get lost in translation with all of this. Because if I depend on them, I'm gonna be drowning. And that doesn't benefit anybody. All right, you guys. So that's all I have for you today. I would love to continue throughout this process doing like the day in the life and stuff, but I cannot guarantee that I am going to be able to do that, at least in the near future, only because the job is really stressing me out, and content for me is more fun, and it's something that I want to enjoy doing. And I really do need to kind of concentrate on what I have going on in front of me while I'm looking for other things. So I don't know if I'm going to be putting out as many day in the lives as an adjuster right now. Also, I don't know what my work life is going to look like in the next couple of months. So I think I'm going to kind of, steer the content more towards like the lifestyle content that I've been trying to film, maybe routines, and also probably more general 9-to-5 stuff. Now, if there's something that you want to see or something that, you have questions on, you can always leave a message in my comments. You can email me at KeilaTBusiness@gmail.com. I'm still willing to help. I am just trying to navigate this tough time. And it's crazy because it's work. Like, personal life is fine, but work is really kicking my ass. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope that I was able to, if you're in a situation, I hope I was able to kind of breathe life into you and let you know it's not the end of the world, and we all go through this, from time to time. It's just a matter of putting a plan in place. I think sometimes we get so caught up in like our back being against the wall and wanting to just kind of make a drastic decision right away. I've known people to get stressed out and just simply quit. I've known people to get stressed out and start, popping off at the mouth, talking to people crazy. And, the last thing that you want to do is ruin your network. Like, you don't want to get blackballed if you can help it. And I'm a big believer in, even if I don't like certain things about a company, I always want to leave gracefully, because you just never know when you're going to end up in a situation where you might be around those same employees again. Like the insurance industry specifically is big, but it's small, especially for me. Like, I've worked a few different places, so I know a lot of people. And if I start acting crazy here, that will get back to other folks, and it could potentially mess up opportunities down the line. And that's not what you want to do. So if you find yourself in a situation, come up with a plan. Even if it isn't my plan that I outlined, come up with a plan to where you can still just kind of control what you can control while you're working, whatever the job is, and just kind of create an exit plan that makes sense for you, your lifestyle, your family, all that jazz. If you made it this far and haven't subscribed, definitely go ahead and click that subscribe button below. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything from me. With that being said, you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.
You mad, they don't salute you. I need a bag, size is super. They turned your bag, it's like I never knew you lead that.